Hi ladies and gentlemen, I am Benjamin Temple. Now some of you have seen me before because I have a few videos now. I recently got in what some model companies call the Dash 9-44CW or the GE Dash 9-44CW. Some companies classify it as a C 44 locomotive. This locomotive in real life is 73 feet 8 inches. I mean, at least that's what the Wikipedia says. Now, I have an actual GE service manual on the Dash 8. I don't have it on the Dash 9. I was thinking it was the Dash 9, but it's not. But somewhere I got a book that gives some information on the Dash 9. But this is one of my favorite locomotives, at least of the modern times, that you would say, just because I guess, according to Wikipedia, it came out in 1993. The Southern Pacific had 101 of these locomotives, according to that site, and 40 in the Union Pacific, which is what I model. It's a 4,400 horsepower. Now that's kind of a giveaway by the classification being the Dash 9-44, which is the 4,400 horsepower. Tractive effort is like 142,000 at 25% or 105,640 13 miles an hour. That's continuous, it says. It's 10 feet 3 inches wide, 16 feet from the top of the rail to the top of the locomotive, at least probably the antenna tower or antenna that's on it. But I don't know, I've always liked this engine because of that kind of what they call a wide cab, but kind of a more of a streamlined cab than the older E.M.D. SD 40-2 locomotives. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like them too, but I like this kind of, looks like a streamline just the way the nose is all done, but I mean, it may not be as aerodynamic as I think it is, but just looking at it, it kind of looks that way. So I got two in the Southern Pacific and two in the Santa Fe. I know I don't really model the Santa Fe, but the red war bonnet paint scheme, as some people refer to it, that red and silver color, is getting harder and harder to find in the Santa Fe, and I thought I'd get a couple engines before they're a thing that model companies are not producing. And I do have a handful of Santa Fe locomotives. I even bought the Blue Goose, so I'm going to be test running that. Of course, not in this video. We're just going to do this Southern Pacific GE-9-44CW. So here we go to look at it. I've already got it on the track idling, of course. I've already unboxed it out of the box. And you can hear it. It sounded pretty quiet earlier when I had it on, but I guess you can really hear it. Now I've got the number boards, the lights turned on. And then so there I've set the motion forward, and as you can see it's moving. It's got the ditch lights that come on, and then of course the lights in the nose. This thing's got, forgive me, I didn't realize which, I was going to play the horn. So you see the horn blowing, and then you see the dash, or the ditch lights flashing. The bell. I mean, this one doesn't really have like the engineer and all that talking on this locomotive. You can do some what they call cab chatter, which is the F7 function. But then the voices are pretty
Okay. Says dimmer. So you see, I guess you can't hear, but you really have to listen. So we're just gonna run this kind of back and forth, see how it works. I've already test run it. Kind of just getting used to these functions, and to be honest, I didn't know all that information about the engine off the top of my head. I mean, you'd think for supposed to be one of my favorite engines, but I haven't studied it in a while. This locomotive is 8151. I'm not really sure why that shows the road number. Now, I had the AC 4400 CW in the Southern Pacific, but I traded them out for this Dash 9. You say, well, why would you do that for? I mean, if you know anything about the locomotive, the AC was considered a better engine, at least its performance and its tractive effort, and being able to climb grades with it and not have to downshift or back out. It could pull more tonnage. But I did this because the model I had was the Athearn ready to run or ready to roll. This is the Athearn Genus, so I have DCC with sound. Obviously you can tell that. This is the speed lettering paint scheme, I think is how most people refer to that. Now you can see that, I mean, it's quite obvious that the Southern Pacific there put on. You kind of see it's done in speed lettering fashion. Once again, I am not James Wright, so you're not going to get a 360 Vanna White spin around. I'm not going to go through all the details of the engine. I'm more of a tech guy in the fact that, like what I studied, it says GE, the prime mover, was a 7FDL16, which means it has 16 cylinders. I know the more the G-Bows are called, has 12 cylinder instead of 16, but they still get the same horsepower out of them, even better performance, I think. So they beefed up the cylinders, but all in all, this is one of my favorite engines, because back in the day, just because of the kind of streamlined appearance of the nose, and even though it was the Illinois Central rail line, you would see a Union Pacific locomotive in the front, and then a Southern Pacific on the second, but turned around, so instead of the cab facing you, you'd see the rear to rear connection, and cab is the way they had it set up, so that way if they disconnect and turn the train, or either direction that you run, you got the nose pointed at you, or headed first, so kind of pretty neat. I mean, like, it has an antenna here that you see here. It has some safety decals you see there, and then right here you see the horn, and then the exhaust stack that's painted silver, and then on the back is the radiator fans for the dynamic brake. Let's take a look, which is down below that fan and all that drilling. But in this one you can't really see that fan. I know in real life, I might be slightly mistaken, maybe this is actually the dynamic brake section right here, because I remember on the E.M.D. SD 40-2 locomotive, they're usually in the middle of that fan for the dynamic braking system, but I forget on GE, without breaking out an exploded CAD drawing or drawing of them to look at the various different parts of the engine. So that's really about it. I guess I can get out of Santa Fe and put that on the track for you so you can have a view of it. this is something I didn't notice on the Southern Pacific, but it looks like, well, maybe it was just me, but it looked like it had a light that came on here on the Santa Fe version, but maybe not. Huh. Well, I don't know. Is there something wrong there? I thought the ditch lights were supposed to flash, but maybe I didn't get that set correctly. I don't know, because this is the 644 road number. You know, I don't know. Maybe that's before the time that they started doing that, but let's see if I can pull this foam out to protect the hand railings. So there's the Santa Fe locomotive. I'm not sure if I got that correctly. And it's a red and silver, what I thought was a red war or a red bonnet paint scheme. Some people say red war bonnet paint scheme, I think. But I noticed something that was different that I wasn't used to. So the steps there are painted red as compared to their F units. I don't think they have that red bottom pinstripe basically at the bottom, but of course, you know, new modern engine, so maybe it's just different. I don't know. But I thought that was kind of a really sharp paint scheme. That's my personal opinion, but you may or may not like that particular. So the thing I've asked in my videos is if you have any feedback, I'd appreciate it, like you know, comments, things you'd like to see, or change ups, any, you know, thoughts that you'd like different done. Also you know, any information. I mean, fine, if I have something wrong and you correct me, I'm not going to be mad, but the only thing I am going to ask is if you do that, please provide me a link or you know, where you got that information from, because I'm going to check you. And I'm not going to be mad if you're wrong, but I can't say that I wouldn't be frustrated if you tell me I'm wrong, and then I go check and I got it right, but you're sitting there telling me wrong that I'm wrong. So please fact check things before you come and say that I'm wrong. Anyhow, thank you if you watch my video, and if you like it, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.